All right, so as we are now off and running into 2024, we always are having an eye on the economy for you. What's happening in the world of work? A lot of we've had just mixed messaging and really mixed data signals for about a year and a half, and so here we are, and we've got a very interesting job market. So just want to walk through what I think is a very interesting job market, different than the last couple of years. Here's how it's interesting. Number one, the unemployment rate is still low, but we've seen the amount of jobs being added as beginning to moderate and slow down. Just to give you like a real piece of data. So in March of 2022, there were 2 jobs available for every person who was unemployed. And so that was what you heard as the employment gap, a lot of jobs available, not enough people. That spurred the Great Resignation because companies were doing everything they could to attract talent. Salaries were higher, perks were better, and so as a result, people were moving. Well, that has stopped. The Great Resignation has stopped. And the quit rate has dropped. Why? A lot of uncertainty about the economy due to inflation. And so people have said, all right, I'm going to stay put. I don't want to necessarily take a leap of faith, because the data on the other side of the Great Resignation was the Great Regret, where millions of people took the job, they left, and they didn't like it, and they wanted to go back, or they felt like they were stuck. So when you have reports, and we had a lot of reports in 2023 of a recession, will we have a soft landing? The Fed is raising interest rates, and people started going, what's that going to do to the economy? Because Jerome Powell, the Fed chair, was out saying, we need to see some pain in the employment market. So people started going, ooh. So here we sit with, there's been a good amount of caution. So what that means is, as we looked at the last part of 2023, we saw fewer job openings, lower wage gains, and so people are staying put. So if you look back to October of 2023, so last quarter, beginning of the last quarter of 23, job openings fell to 8.7 million. That was the lowest level since March 2021. Now, let's just say this. The job market is still very, very good. However, job hiring right now is really based on the industry. We're seeing a lot of government jobs, a lot of hiring with government jobs. We're seeing a lot of hiring in the education space due to turnover. But in the white-collar world and in the technology space, we've seen things slow down. Specifically from this Business Insider article, workers in corporate jobs are finding it harder to land a gig. And the reason is because there's a couple of factors. Not as many jobs are being added. Companies are kind of, again, as we saw fears of recession being talked about in 2023, a lot of your big-time corporations stuff, they begin to slow down. They begin to do layoffs. They tighten up the balance sheet, right? That's their name. The name of the game is numbers, and people are numbers to them. Okay, so having said that, you're seeing less jobs posted. Now, another thing that's happening is people are seeing jobs that are posted, but companies, they're kind of ghost jobs. They haven't taken them off their list. They got them out there, but they're not really trying to hire. So you're seeing a lot of frustration in the marketplace where people are going, well, you listed the job, I'm applying for it, and nothing's happening. So that's also something that's going on. And yet there's a lot of opportunities in nursing because, again, hospitals rolling out the red carpet for nurses, schools rolling out the red carpet for teachers. Why? Both of those industries have high rates of burnout and people are dropping out. And so you still see a lot of hires there. Okay. But there has been a consistent slowdown in the labor market over the last 18 months. And so now employers aren't as aggressive in courting new hires. That means recruiters have slowed down. And so as we move into 2024, I just think it's important as a cautionary tale to say you can't rely on the white-hot employment market if you're looking to advance and grow by making a move to another job. That's the big takeaway. It's like the real estate market was about a year and a half ago. Every real estate listing in the middle of Tennessee had 30 offers off asking price. It was bananas. Same thing in the job market. You could raise your eyebrow and somebody go, "You're hired." That's not where we are now. So why do I bring this up? I wrote a book called The Proximity Principle. It's #1 bestseller. Continues to just sell like crazy. Why? Because this is the key to moving up when you don't have this bananas job market that we're never going to have again. What happened in 2021 and 2022, folks, is never going to happen again. Because there's never going to be a COVID pandemic like we had. These were what we would call outliers, lightning bolts. They're not going to happen again. So if I want to move up and I want to advance, and that is not an internal option, it's an external option, more than ever, the proximity principle, getting around people who can open up doors for me. Getting in places where I meet people that can open up doors for me. With the onset of artificial intelligence, this is more important than ever. AI has already disrupted the hiring industry. It has disrupted the workplace. There are reports that it could replace as many as 40% of the jobs we have now. I don't think that's going to be the case, but I could be wrong. It's going to disrupt a lot of jobs. Now the economy will spit off new jobs. The takeaway is this. More than ever, if I want to advance, I want to increase my opportunity for responsibility, influence, and thus income and personal and professional growth, it will always be based on my ability to connect with people. Connecting with people. I don't care what the job market looks like. I could sit up here 6 months from now and there could be a completely different outlook. It won't matter. It doesn't matter if we go back to history and look at the Stone Age all the way to the digital age. People, connections with people that open up doors of opportunity will always be the advantage that you can adopt for yourself. And so, moving forward, don't worry about the news, the headlines. Worry about connecting with people. Worry about making connections with people. That's how you get opportunities. That's how you get ahead. Don't forget it. Get around the right people and get in the right places and watch opportunities show up and knock on your door.